Okay, so this is the ROM for the Commodore 64, the old Commodore C64C. Okay, so this is the ROM when you first boot up the Commodore C64C. This starts it up. This is the process. This is where the operating system is stored. Okay. It is a Mitsubishi M5L2732K. Okay, it is a PEEPROM, and it is a parallel electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Okay, and as you can see, this processor was built in 1984 in Japan. Okay, 1984. The first two digits is the year. Okay, so what it is, it's 4K times 8, so it's got 8 4K banks of memory, and it's got 24 pins. Okay, and again, this was part of the Commodore C64C computer, and I don't have the processor, the original processor. I think the processor was soldered onto the main board, so I couldn't take it out for some reason. So but this one was on a socket, so I could just pull it out on a 24-pin socket that you could just pull right out. Okay, for comparison, got other processors. It's an Intel Pentium. It's the first one with the MMX technology. I think it's a Pentium 2. No, it's a Pentium 1 at 200 megahertz, I believe. I think it's a 200 megahertz. And that's the old Pentium. The original Pentium was a Pentium 50 and 60 megahertz, and this one's a Pentium 90 megahertz processor. So this was 90 megahertz. Okay. Okay, so this is 90 megahertz. Doesn't really, yeah, it does say that on top. It says. Okay, 90 right there. It says 90, and you could actually run this as a 100 megahertz, because this was actually sold as a Pentium 90, and then they later sold it as a Pentium 100, because it was actually the same machine. And see, it's huge. And this is it's Pentium 4. This was the I think this was the Prescott, the codename Prescott processor. Pentium 4. Okay. This one, I believe, '92. I think this was the Pentium 2 at 200 megahertz. Pentium 2. I think this was the Pentium 2, the one that where the processor was embedded in, was plugged into a cartridge, which the cartridge then plugs into the motherboard, and the fan was on the cartridge. So this was plugged into a larger cartridge, which was plugged into the motherboard, and then you got the fan that would ride on that. So it was and so the way the Commodore the memory, the read-only memory, the way it was written and erased was with laser. So this was actually taped with aluminum. A sheet of aluminum was covered. It's covering this slot here. This glass here was covered with a sheet of aluminum, so you can see it. So I peeled off the sheet, the sticker, the square sticker, and so that to program it, you would actually shine a laser and to actually program it. The older ones, the older programmable read-only memory, you would shine a laser into it, and it would actually burn off the individual diodes, which actually just breaks the diodes, and it actually destroys each diode just to program it. So you're only able to program it once. The programmable read-only memory, the older ones. So this one you can erase. This was like the precursor to flash drives that you're used to, USB flash drives that you see today. This was one of the ancestors of that. Okay, the colorful thing in the middle is actually the memory. So you can see the wires connecting to that. Okay, so this was once a marvel of technology.